welcome back to another Farm Fact Friday. As always, it's a pleasure to be here. We are getting into fall harvest in the Northwest Ohio area, and while we are excited to be at this point once again, we also need to talk a little bit about safety. And this week happens to be National Farm Safety and Health Week, which is perfect timing as we gear up. So let's first talk a little bit about the safety issue around agriculture. So according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2018 there were 574 agriculture-related fatalities. Now these could be for all different reasons, but one of them probably has to do with being on the roadway and sharing the roads. So today I just want to talk a little bit about rural road safety. So we'll talk about why the roadways have some aspects of danger associated. We'll talk about how the farm community tries to make you aware of these or make them more visible so that we minimize the risks associated, and then just some general reminders as we head into busier days ahead in harvest. So if you have ever been a part of fall harvest, you know that it is hustle bustle, busy. We're eating meals on the go. People are in all different directions, multiple fields. It's busy. But with busy sometimes comes danger. And there's also the present danger of taking equipment and other things that are needed out on those roadways. So as farmers, as soon as we bring our equipment onto the road, we have a new responsibility. These things are wider, they're much larger than typical vehicles that are on the road. So we'll do everything in our power to make sure that we're getting over when necessary or slowing down and being aware of our surroundings. So we ask the same of you as well. So if you've ever driven through rural countryside, it can be very beautiful, but there are some factors that make it a little bit more dangerous, and one of them happens to be that roadways are more narrow. So the full 2 lanes with some extra room aren't always the case in the rural areas. With that also comes roadways that don't have a lot of markings. So we may not have the edge lines and the center line, and not knowing exactly how far to get over. Sometimes roads would require us to get all the way over in the berm. So if you're not familiar with the area, just slow down a little bit. And then as we're working into the early morning hours or late evening hours when it's dark, and as the days get shorter, lighting can also be an issue. So not probably as well lit as some of your other roadways. And finally, if there are actually roadways that are unpaved that you come across, depending on the conditions, this could cause an increase in dust. And with dust comes decreased visibility. And things can come up on us very quickly if we cannot see them. So if you see dust rolling, just stay back and be prepared to stop, especially if there is any slow moving traffic ahead of you. So as you can see in the background, I just have a utility tractor and a semi, maybe on the road at any point in time, but this one particularly has lights fixed, so light here, light over there. Those can blink. They'll serve as the turn signals, so we can help identify our direction when we're on the road. If a vehicle does not have the lights, then it may require someone else to escort it. So a truck, a van, a car, whatever it may be, they may help provide that barrier between the tractor and the rest of the traffic coming on. So if you see someone who has their hazards on, stay back because they're helping that piece of equipment get to its destination. Now, even better, if you really would like to assist and see that they don't have a escort and you're not in any hurry, you could also flip your hazards on and help slow other traffic goers down as well. And then the other thing that you may have seen, this is an SMV sign. So if you've never seen one before, now you've seen one. This SMV sign stands for slow moving vehicle. It's orange with the red border. So if you see this on the back of a wagon or a trailer, just stay back and patiently wait until they can get to where they're going. So where the issue lies is when it is a slow moving vehicle, say it's a tractor with a wagon behind, the wagon has an SMV sign, and say they're coming up and want to make a left-hand turn. If that's the case and you want to try to pass them, if that happens simultaneously because we're in a hurry, you can see where an accident might happen. So if you really don't know where they're going, it's best just to stay back, especially if you see an oncoming driveway or field entry. Those are some indicators that may be where they're going. As always, we know distracted driving is an issue, and as the roadways become busier with large pieces of equipment, it becomes even a bigger danger. So we know that texting and driving takes a lot of our attention away from seeing the road and being a defensive driver. So, just split seconds of looking down, traveling at 55 miles an hour, you can travel the length of a football field before you realize what you've passed, who you've passed, and the landscape around you. So please, please, please put those phones down. Wait to call people back until you arrive. No need to look at those notifications. And actually, if you have Bluetooth set up, just turn that on so that the phone doesn't even provide you with notifications until you put it in park. Now, if you've been watching our Farm Fact Fridays, we did take a trip in the semi some weeks back, and we talked about some of the things to remember for safety with semis. And as we haul the grain to the elevator, you're going to see semis on the road that take longer to get up to speed and are making trips back and forth to that elevator. So one thing we mentioned there, and I'll mention again, is if you cannot see their mirrors, they cannot see you. And this typically means that you are following way too close to that trailer. So back off, make sure they can see you, so that if they have to stop suddenly or they make their turn, that you are clearly out of their way. The other thing we mentioned was making sure that if you can't get up, if you are wanting to turn onto a road that they're already on, if you cannot make it up to speed in the time that they reach you, you should not pull out in front of them. Always look at a semi as if they are fully loaded, and it takes a lot more time to stop a semi than it does a car. So, with all of that being said, and as a farmer's daughter, as a farm wife, as a mom to children that love to be in the tractor and farm with their family, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being extra safe, extra cautious. We truly, truly appreciate that. We want to make sure that we get home safely and that we can go on to the next harvest day. The people in the semis, in the tractors, in the combines, that is someone's mom, someone's dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, child that's learning how to do the farming. So we truly appreciate your attention during this busy time for us. We will do our part to keep the roadways safe, and we ask you all to do the same. So hopefully today you've learned a little bit on our Farm Fact Friday. Have a great rest of your evening, a wonderful weekend, and we'll check you back next week. Take care.